Howdy. I really want to speak to you today about the epidemic of worry. I want to share with you the epidemic of worry in terms of how worry is a learned behavior. We, over the course of time as a human race, that our culture, our family, the things that pressure us, how we got to the what if scenario, how we got to the place as a race to worry. And so, for the next couple of minutes, I want to speak to you about this behavior, the evolution of worry, learned behavior, how our family and culture has taught us over the years and do continue to teach us how to worry. So I want to share this with you for the next few minutes, and I just want you to relax and sit back, and I want to, for a few minutes, share with you the problem that we have as a race, but in particular, the problem that you have as it relates to worry. I think that evolution has taught us over the years, our species or our race, as a human race, we know that there were great concerns of worry in the early age of man. There perhaps was worry about what to eat, how to get what to eat, how to do a lot of things. And when you think of this generation, this current generation, just imagine you worrying about the very same thing. Not that there's a shortage of food or you have to necessarily go and kill your meal, then clean it to eat it, but there's still too much worry that you are focusing on that have caused your mind to be patterned in the way that it is. And what I mean by that is we have learned how to worry over the many years. And so I want you to understand that as everything has evolved from the beginning of the human race, many things has evolved, many traits and many things that we have learned over the years did not start in the way that it's now manifesting itself. And so our ancestors perhaps were worrying about the rustle in the bush, perhaps worrying about what the next meal would be and how to get it. And today, we can go to the store, or we can go to someone, a relative or a friend, or there are provisions in many communities where those that do not have can obtain resources, whether it be grocery or otherwise. And so when you think of worry, we have learned how to worry. And the problem with that is we are not getting less worried. We are becoming more worried as time passes. As an individual, we worried yesterday about what today would be, and now today we are worrying about what tomorrow would be. In all honesty, time would pass, and not to beat a dead horse or anything like that, but I think sufficient issues are in today to capture our attention that we don't have to allow tomorrow to take away today. And so, my friend, I want you to understand, worry, of course, has torment, and you do not have to worry. It is not a must that you worry. When you think of it, if worry can be so destructive, why do we do it so much? The answer lies in the complex mix of evolution, learning, and biology. We've seen the evolution of the what if. What if our brains are the product of millions of years of evolution, and the primary job of the human brain is to keep us alive, is to really keep us alive. And one of the tricks of the brain is to bring to us the need or needs that we have. Not a trick necessarily, but the role or the job of the brain. And the brain does not necessarily or has not necessarily brought it to us to worry. But our makeup is of such that if we are not careful, we will pull our hair out, pardon me, about what if. And so I want to encourage you to consider worry will get worse and worse. It is an epidemic among us. And if you do not make a conscious decision to put worry in its proper place, it will cause you to live far below what God has for you. Because you are spending so much time worrying about what if, you don't have time to concentrate or pay attention to what is. And so when you think of it, worry has torment. These things that we are concerned about, they are important. Those who are carefree, of course, in our ancestry days, those who were too carefree, they became lunch for the animals. But those who were overburdened with what if, they were not able to accomplish what they needed to accomplish to survive as well. It's not that I'm saying worry does not have its place. It is important to understand that there is a place for worry. You categorize it, you label it, list it, number it, and you put it in its place. But if you allow it to consume you in the moment, you will become unproductive and you will discover that nothing will get done. And so, in the modern world, where predators are scarce, but builds and social activities are plentiful. I mean, the survival mechanism often misfire, latching on to psychological threats instead of physical ones, threats that are in our minds. When we worry, we begin to worry about things that are not. And it is the same as if you are worrying psychologically about things that are not. The impact of that has the same devastating result on you for worrying as though you are in fear for your life concerning a wild animal, as it may have been with our ancestors. And so worry itself is a learned behavior. Our family and our culture teach us to worry. We learn to worry. Worry is often a learned behavior. Most of us are taught to worry. How we worry is we depend on how we grew up and what we were exposed to. Case in point, we were taught in my young days that you got to put something ahead for rainy day because rainy day is coming. And in putting something, in saying that, I think our forefathers, they trained us how to worry about rainy day. And when rainy day come, so to speak, we find ourselves in expectation of this rainy day, and we begin to worry about how to deal with the rainy day. Does that make sense to you? Because sometimes when you look at what we are concerned about, what we are pulling our hairs about, what we are pulling our hair out about, really adds up or mounts up to nothing. The problem is we have been taught, we have learned to worry. And because of what our elders told us, they were teaching us that you got to worry about rainy day. You got to worry about rainy day. You got to have something in store for rainy day. You know, and so I'm saying to you is, when you think of the evolution of worry, our forefathers worried, and they taught us how to worry by the words they spoke, and the actions they took, not necessarily in a positive way, because sometimes we can become in our mind thinking we preparing for rainy day, we can become very gravelicious or covetous. Then we can also become fearful about it. And we know that fear has torment. And so what is the solution? Of course, the short answer is not to worry. And it's really unreal not to say, well, don't worry. In the words of Bobby McFerrin, don't worry, be happy. That's not necessarily the way it works. Because the more you say don't worry, the more we do worry. And so I'm saying to you who are worrying, you do not have to worry. We were taught this. This was a learned behavior. And if you learn it, that means you have control over it. It was not innate in you to worry to the place of torment. You are not born with the DNA of worry. Worry is a behavior that we have learned, and if you wish to rid yourself of the worry and the fear and the anxieties that comes, you have to make a decision to do so. You have to begin to declare what the truth is as it relates to you worrying and as it relates to the evolution of worry. You don't have to necessarily think that the rainy day, when it comes, you will not be prepared. That when the rainy day comes, there's nothing you could do. So you are scraping, hauling, and conniving to get some things in place just for the rainy day that may never come. So we were taught, though, that rainy day will come. We were taught that you got to put something aside for rainy day. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. It's good to have some financial substance, or, well, put it simply, it's good to have money in store in the event. It's good to have an amount that you can go without a paycheck perhaps for a couple months. But to worry over it does not make it easier to get it. As a matter of fact, if you begin to worry over it, you will begin to create in your mind the kind of atmosphere that are conducive for worry and rainy day. So do not worry. Do not fret. There is an answer for worry. It's a learned behavior. Anything that you have learned, you can make the decision to control it, to say what it is allowed to do and what it's not allowed to do. You see? So if you've learned how to worry as you have and as I have, you can say to worry, this is your place, this is your position. You will not drive the car and you will not be a passenger on this vehicle or in this vehicle. And so I'm saying to you, you can decide worry's place. If you grew up with parents who constantly worried about money, safety, or what others thought, you may have internalized the anxious worldview as normal. It becomes the lens through which you see the world. If you grew up with a parent or grandparents or relatives who feared that someone was always looking to break into the house, someone was always looking to come in, someone was always looking to harm you, then you would have learned to be fearful. And at nights you are checking the doors and checking them twice, and you are going through the least sound that you hear, you up and you wondering, you looking through the window, cutting on the lights, whatever it is, because there is this worry that you have. There is this fear that you have. You are being tormented to tell you the truth that someone is going to break in. One of these days, someone is going to break in. One of these days, someone is going to knock on the door and force their way into the house. One of these times we leave the home, when we come back, they would have broken into the home and cleaned us out. That's a learned behavior. That came because you have lived with it. You've heard it as a child. It is formed in your mind because in the years of your formation, your mind being strengthened and renewed and being taught, you are also taught to worry. Worry about what if. Worry about suppose this would happen or that would happen. And I want to let you know, it is important that you look through life or look through the lens of life in a very positive way. Do not look at life or do not adopt the worry mantle for life. Do not be anxious for anything. Do not allow anxieties, what may happen, what ifs, to control your life. Do not worry about so much things. Sufficient today is the things you need to concern yourself with. Today have more than enough in it for you to attend to than for you to worry about what's going to happen years from now. Do you know that there are folks like you who are worrying about the child's education while the child is still an infant, and they are fretting and worrying and anxious and having anxieties about the college fund? Listen, it is not that serious. Worry had torment. Worry actually is the foundation that fear is standing on. Anxieties express themselves because of worry. Do not worry, do not fret. And so I want to encourage you, wherever you are, you in particular that's viewing this, no need to worry. Worry is a learned behavior. And because you've learned it, you can control it. You can put it in its place. You can give worry its place so that you are not led by it, so that it does not drive you, it does not ride with you, that you will have it in its place. And so I want to encourage you to not to worry, because any learned behavior can be managed, controlled, and you can give it its place. And so, as I encourage you to do so, do not allow worry to lead you. Worry is not a part of your DNA. It is a learned behavior. And as the human brain have kept our forefathers alive, and as they navigate through life, they, of course, were vigilant concerning the things that they were concerned about. And it passed down through the generations. The things that my parents concerned about, if I allow some of those things to govern me, I would find myself worrying. I would find myself back into where I was in, worrying about coulda, shoulda, woulda, worrying about what if this, what if that, what if the other. You know, we are hardwired to worry. And worry can be very destructive. And the answer to understand worry lies in the complex mix of evolution, how we evolve as a race and as a people. And so I'm encouraging you, wherever you are viewing this video, wherever you are viewing this channel from, listen, I want to teach you how to overcome worrying, how to live your life intentionally, how not to worry about things that you can do nothing about, how not to allow yourself to be bogged down in the quagmire of worry, anxieties, and fear. Jesus said this: whom the Son set free is free indeed. You can be free through Jesus Christ today. You can place your trust in Him by faith, believing that He will be with you always, even to the end of the age. He will never leave you, nor will He ever forsake you. Why worry? Worry is not what you were born to do. By worrying, you can't change a thing. You can't add 1 millimeter to your stature by worrying. You can't change the color of the trees by worrying. You can't prevent the sunshine nor the moonlight by worrying. Do you see where I'm going with this? Worry can't change anything. So I'm encouraging you to take an introspective look at who you are and whose you are, what is your priority, what is your purpose, and not to focus on what ifs. The what ifs will drive you. You will go down a path because of what ifs that were not meant for you. Because of what ifs, you will end up destroying relationships. But if you allow worry to have its place where it belongs, under the management, under direction of what you want, then you will free yourself from this learned behavior called worry. So, as I bid you good afternoon, I want you to remember to share, subscribe, and like this channel and comment on this channel. Of course, I want you to know that my focus is speaking about how the words that we speak can meet us in our future with the environment we have spoken to live out in our future. Because words never die. Words never die. So I'm encouraging you to continue to follow, like, and subscribe and share, because I was once where you are. And I'm speaking to myself, worried about the what ifs, and discovered by the grace of God that I was wasting time, energy, resources, and not fulfilling purpose because I was concerned, not just concerned, but worried about the things that I could do nothing about by worrying. So remember, this is not something that you were born to do. This is not in your DNA. It's a belief. It's a system of evolution that we were taught to worry, and therefore we worry. And I'm saying to you, you don't have to worry. Remember, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Like, subscribe, and share. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.